Hello, my name is Connor, and today I'm going to be going over with my groupmates the Turnstill project for CompSci 483W. I'm going to start by talking about the wiki article for this project. This can be accessed anywhere at any time at wiki.susquehannasyntax.com, which I will put up on screen right now. So this gives a basic overview of a bunch of different things, basically just how the project works and whatnot, but what I'm going to be talking about to start off with is how this is hosted. Turnstill is a hosting first platform, so anybody can self-host this. It's available on Docker Hub, and you can run it right now on your own computer and have your own environment just for your own company or for your own experimentation. It's very open source and user-friendly in that way. So this part of the Turnstill documentation talks about the Docker setup. So if you're using Docker through CLI or Docker Hub, you would paste this in as your Docker compose.yml file, and it starts up automatically on port 9100. I happen to be using Portainer as my preferred method of hosting these Docker containers, and you can see right now that this is running Turnstill and its native Postgres environment. Something to note is that I am using a Cloudflare tunnel to now expose this to turnstill.susquehannasyntax.com, and if we head there, this is available to everybody, not only in the class, but the whole public internet, so everybody can see this. I'm already logged into an account here, and some of my teammates are going to go a little bit more over some of the features that are offered in Turnstill itself.
As an attendee, I want to be able to create an account and receive a unique QR code. Now I have gotten a QR code. As an attendee, I want to be able to display my QR code. Just click full screen QR and it will display it. And you're also able to download it so you can use it offline. And as an attendee, I want to be able to control which personal information is visible when my QR code is scanned. So just using these checkboxes here, you can uncheck your email and it won't show it anymore. Same with your organization, your phone, and your links. So if I want to have our email showing, you can check all of that. And you're also able to edit all of this information. So I could add an organization of Penn State, and I could add my phone number, as well as links. If you have a link to social media you would like to add, and you just need to save the changes. But if I haven't added anything, so if I will add a link, then you're able to add anything you want. So now that's my information all saved. And you're also able to see your tickets from this. So I don't have any tickets, but if I was to add one, and if I go back to my profile, you'll see my ticket will show up here now.
Here I will show off the event details screen. Currently we're in the dashboard, and you can reach the event details screen just by simply clicking the card of the event in the dashboard. Right now I am signed in with a regular attendee user, so we're very limited as to what we can see right now, but there will be more for organizers and staff to see, which we will get to in a minute. First and foremost, you can see the event name here, and under that, the date and the time that it will be happening, the time slot to be more specific, a brief description of the event, and the location the event will be happening. Under that, in this little box, you can see the number of registered users, which is 1 right now, the number of checked-in users, which is also 1, the capacity for the event, which in this case is unlimited, the status of the event upcoming. Today is March 30th, so the event is not here yet, so upcoming is accurate. A button to go back to the dashboard, a button to register for the event, which, any user can click, and the Open Scanner button, which is more useful for event staff and organizers to easily reach from the event. But it doesn't hurt to have it there for everybody. So I am actually logged in under myself. So we will go ahead and click this Register for Event button. And as you can see here, the number of registered users has changed. That's about all there is to it for attendee users on the event detail screen. So now I will go and switch over to the organizer login. That way I can show off the rest of the features. Okay, so we are back in the event detail screen as an organizer with an organizer login. And as you can see, there are a bit more features, a bit more things to see on the screen as an organizer. Number one, we have these 3 tabs down here: attendees, staff, and logs. The attendees tab will show all of the attendees and registered users for the event. This attendance ratio is, as it sounds, a ratio of the registered users and those that are checked in. So right now, there are 2 registered users for the event, Ethan Pacifico and Eve Davis, but only one of them is actually checked in, so that's why it's at this halfway point here. This table will list the name of the attendee, their organization, the status of their registration. So here for me, it'll say issued, but for Eve, they're checked in, and the time that they were checked in at. So it is blank for my account, but for Eve, it says 8:07 a.m. The staff page just simply shows what staff is attached to this event. Here you can see the organizer account that I'm currently using. You can easily take off a staff member just by hitting this X button here, which we're not going to do. We'd have to re-add them. And then you can search for staff by name in the search bar here. The logs table will show all scan attempts for an event. That will be successful and failed. And failed means they aren't registered, or it might be a duplicate scan if somebody's already been checked in. So here you can see in the past, just to get some visual representation here, Eve Davis was scanned in by organizer at 8:07 a.m. this morning, and that was a successful scan. They were registered, and then they were checked in. Alice Johnson was scanned in by the organizer at 8:10 a.m., 3 minutes later, but they weren't registered, so it'll reflect that here. And now we will go ahead and scan in Ethan Pacifico, because as you can see, they are registered here, but they haven't been checked in yet, so we will show what updates there. And just to reflect here, number of checked in is 1, but registered is 2. Back in the event details screen, you can see here that Ethan Pacifico's status has changed from issued to checked in. The time of the check-in is now 8:23 a.m. The attendance ratio is completely green, which means that all registered users have been checked in. And we can go over to logs here, and we can see there's a new scan attempt. Ethan Pacifico was scanned by the organizer account at 8:23 a.m., and it was a success. And you can see here, 2 registered, 2 checked in. And that's pretty much as far as the event details screen goes. It's a very clean-cut page, easy to use for attendees. There's not too many buttons or screens to go to. Everything that you have to do is right in front of you, but it's also very reflective for staff and organizers. They can see what's going on with their event and, make changes in the future if something isn't working out.
If you go to the scanner page as an attendee, it'll display this screen where you can scan another attendee's QR code to display their contact information. For example, currently I'm logged in as a user named Eve. I will scan the QR code of a user named Bob, and as you can see, it displays that user's contact information. Here it displays the recent scans you've made as well as a timestamp. If for whatever reason you're unable to scan the QR code, you can also manually enter their the UUID in this case, and again, it'll show you the contact information of that user. If you're logged in as an event staff, organizer, or admin, you will see a similar. Oops. The scanner page will instead ask you to choose an event to start scanning for, in which case this event staff login only has access to the hackathon. I select that, I select start scanning, and it will bring you to a similar screen, except in this case, when you scan a QR code, instead of displaying the user's contact information, it'll check that user in for the event that you're scanning for. Again, if you're unable to scan the QR code, you can manually enter the UUID. If the attendee has already been checked in, instead of the green check that you saw earlier, it will show this message, a duplicate check-in. Right? And then if you need to change which event you're scanning for, you can click here to change event. In this case, again, this user only has access to the hackathon event. That's all.
Users authenticated as admins are able to view all of the events and all of the users. So as you can see, we have two different tabs here where we can scroll between them. I'm going to show the events first. From here you can see everything that is upcoming, ended, and everything that has already happened. So I'm going to hit this little download CSV button, and this is going to be pretty cool. For different types of data analytics, you can download a CSV that gives you the name, the email, the organization, the phone, and the status of all the participants that took place at this event. Something else cool that we could do is we can add a user right here with any role that we need. And we can also change the role of any user. Additionally, we can also register users for different events. So let's say this person isn't registered for this and they called support and they need an admin to do it for them. We can do that right from here. You can see we get a nice confirmation message up there. We can also delete users if needed. From here we can also see the My Events page where you can create a new event or return to the dashboard and edit the current events that you have available. Something else about Turnstill to take note of is that there is official PWA and mobile support. So instead of posting an app directly to the App Store, which costs a lot of money and time and a lot of investment that kind of can't afford right now, we are instead using a progressive web app style. So I'm going to put up a screen right now that's showing my phone. And you can see that not only is this running as a native app on my phone, and it has the official Turnstill icon right here, but it is running as if it is an app, even though it technically isn't. This is a web app that is pretending to be an app. That's what progressive web apps mean. Currently I'm logged in as the admin here. You can see the admin dashboard and kind of how everything fits together here. You can view events just like you normally would. All the features are available here, and they're just packaged a little bit better for a mobile first sort of way of looking at things.